Self-confidence formula. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thought for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear picture, mental picture. Third, I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no weight or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of the other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. Back to this formula is a law of nature which no man has yet been able to explain. The name by which one called the law is of little importance. The important fact about it is it worked for the glory and success of mankind if it is used constructively. On the other hand, if used destructively, it will destroy just as readily. In this statement may be found a very significant truth, namely that those who go down in defeat and end their lives in poverty, misery, and distress do so because of negative application of the principle of autosuggestion. The cause may be found in the fact that all impulses of thought have a tendency to clothe themselves in the physical equivalent. The desire of negative thinking. The subconscious mind makes no distinction between constructive and destructive thought impulses. It works with the material we feed it. Through our mind, through our thought impulses, the subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear, just as readily as it will translate into reality a thought driven by courage or faith. The law of autosuggestion, through which any person may rise to altitudes of achievement which stagger the imagination, is well described in the following verses. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't. it is almost certain you won't. If you think you will lose, you are lost. For out in the world we find success begins with failures will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battle don't always go to the strongest or faster man, but soon or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Observe these words which have been emphasized, and you will catch the deep meaning which the poet has in mind. How an idea built a fortune. Because of need for faith and cooperation in operating business and industry, it will be both interesting and profitable to analyze an event which provides an excellent understanding of method by which industrialists and businessmen accumulate great fortunes by giving before they try to get. The outstanding description of power of an idea was dramatically told by John Lowell in the New York World Telegram, with whose courtesy it is here reprinted. Riches begin with thoughts. The dramatic story of big business, which you have just finished, is a perfect illustration of the method by which desire can be transmuted into its physical equivalent. The giant organization was created in the mind of one man. The plan by which the organization was provided with the steel mill that gave it financial stability was created in the mind of the same man. His faith, his desire, his imagination, his persistence were the real ingredients that went into United States Steel. The steel mill and mechanical equipment acquired by the corporation after it had been brought into legal existence were incidental, but careful analysis will disclose the fact that the appraised value of the properties acquired by the corporation increased in value by an estimated $600 million by the mail transaction, which consolidated them under one management. In other words, Charles M. Schwab's idea plus the faith with which he conveyed it to the minds of J.P. Morgan and the others was marketed for a profit of approximately 600 million, not an insignificant sum for a single idea. The United States Steel Corporation prospered and became one of the richest and most powerful corporations in America, employing thousands of people, developing new uses for steel, and opening new markets, thus proving that 600 million dollar in profit which the Schwab idea produced was in, which is begin in the form of thought. The amount is limited only by the person in which mind the thought is put into motion. Faith removes limitation. Remember this when you are ready to bargain with life for whatever it is that you ask as your you ask your price for having passed this way. I'm gonna take the last sentence again. Remember this when you are ready to bargain with life for whatever it is that you ask your price for having this passed away. Wow. So that brings us to the end of this chapter. I will try, because this is a whole lot. It might take us a while to finish. So I will try as much as I can to highlight each chapter. So I might not be going into deeper or reading every everything on each chapter. I'll try to keep it short, just one recording for one episode. That way, I'm just gonna highlight it. So basically, this is talking about faith, and one thing that stood out for me. Um, it talks about your thoughts, that riches begin in your thoughts, and one thing is stated at the end of this chapter, which also stood out for me. I'm just gonna read it out here. Just give me one second. So the amount is limited only by the person in whose mind the thought is put in motion. So your thoughts can either limit you or push you further. You say faith removes limitation. As a Christian, we know faith moves mountain. Without faith, it is impossible to get anything done in this life. So this chapter is talking about faith. It's talking about whatever you desire to do, you have to have the thought already, like develop the thoughts and have faith towards whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna keep it short. I'm just gonna end it here, and we'll see you in our next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in.